Everyone, on this rainy, or at least starting to rain Thursday morning, and Valentine's Day is just one day away. So let's talk about relationships, not between lovers, but between coaches and fighters. In the meantime, please like this video, share it, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to drop a comment or question down below. I answer everything. Okay, so the smoke is starting to clear a little bit between Eric Nicksick, the head coach and the GM of Xtreme Couture, and Sean Strickland. Guys like MMA experts have gone after Eric Nicksick and said what he has said publicly is wrong. He's two-faced. No. If you guys think that the relationship has blown up just in this fight against Dricus du Plessis, you guys are very sadly mistaken. I can assure you, without personal knowledge, I assure you there was some underground growlings going on behind the scenes. And with Sean Strickland fighting flat, if it's because of the antibiotics, because of the staph infection, or whatever reason it might be, it was just came out flat against Dricus. There's more to the story. There is a lot more to the story. I promise you. Now, this relationship is starting to crash, but it's not like it was with TJ Dillashaw and Alpha Male. That was more of TJ wanting to expand his knowledge and his skill set. It's almost, I believe, sort of like a Colby Covington ATT lighter version. What do I mean by that? Well, Dan Lambert loves Colby Covington to this day. He is a Colby Covington fan. But with all the smack Colby talks, Dan had to do what's best for the gym and have him leave. I think that's more the case. Now, Sean Strickland does have a colorful persona, and it's possible that things just started bothering Eric Nicksick. And one thing leading to another, and he's had enough. You have to give Eric Nicksick the benefit of the doubt. Because remember something. He doesn't want to lose somebody at championship status. As a matter of fact, he said he only wants to train people that want to be champions. Now, true, Sean Strickland's really the only person on that level. So it's kind of like if you only want to train champions, you got to get better guys in the gym. But remember something, and remember this well. Trainers don't do this stuff for free, okay? It is a business. No matter how close you are to a trainer, like Longo and Weidman, for example, okay? And there's examples all over MMA. Marab and Ray Longo, okay? A champion brings more action into the gym, which puts more money into the coach's pockets. Okay? Now, One thing I've always asked coaches whenever I talk to a fighter, I always, on the side, ask a coach, hey, what's the limit to a fighter? When do you, as a coach, tell a fighter things aren't working, it's time to seek, success elsewhere? I've done that with Henry Hooft, Mike Brown, Mike Winklejohn. I've done that with Henry Hooft. I've done that with Ray Longo. I've done it with John Kavanaugh. Okay? And while they all have different answers, the consensus is if the mouth gets too much going, and while Sean Strickland hasn't said anything outwardly racist, maybe it's enough. Maybe that it was just the beginning of the fracture. Okay. Now, should he have kept everything behind the scenes? Maybe it's some shock and awe to go public and put this right in Strickland's face. Because Sean has said he doesn't really care about titles. It doesn't matter with him. He just loves to fight. Now look, could he stay at Xtreme Couture? Sure, there's other good coaches. You got Dennis Davis, you have Nate Petit, Roman Isbell handling Muay Thai, but you're not going to have someone that doesn't get along with the head coach of a gym in a gym. No head coach is going to allow that. That makes no sense. So if you read the tea leaves, if you read between the lines, even if Eric Nixick puts the ball in Sean Strickland's court, he's going to need to find another gym. And that, makes you wonder, where could he go? Now, in this past camp, he worked with Johnny Eblin. So, him at ATT, I don't know if Dan Lambert wants somebody else with a mouth not as bad as Colby Covington, but in that vein. He went through that once before. I don't know if he wants to do that again. With the size of the team that they have down there in Coconut Creek, and with guys that could push him with the wrestling as well as the striking, that would be an interesting ad. Because remember, Sean Strickland is a jab, 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 teep kick, jab, 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 teep, 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 jab, jab, jab fighter. So he could use some more rounding out. Now, if he wants to stay in Vegas and want, I don't know if he'd want to go back and forth long distances for camp. Maybe he wants to stay close to Vegas. So you have to think, would he consider something like going to Arizona, for example, with Fight Ready? Because Angel and obviously Henry Cejudo working with the wrestling, you saw the improvement with Zhang Weili wrestling skills training with them. Maybe they could do that with Sean Strickland as well. I would be interested to see if he would maybe consider Jackson Wink. Because just think, all those teep kicks coming around, turning it into a question mark kick or snapping out a head kick. Add those layers to Sean Strickland's game. And I'll tell you what, if you're training with John Jones and with Maurice Green, it'll push you. You will be you will be tested, you will be pushed, and you will only grow as a fighter. The game planning that Greg Jackson and Mike Winkeljohn both have is really good. You know, Bart Lujan handling their wrestling can help him improve with that. That would be an interesting mix. Or maybe he doesn't want to deal with a regular gym anymore. That could be a consideration also. Maybe he reaches out to Cowboy Cerrone and just trains at the BMF Ranch. You never know. And I got a feeling, pretty strongly, by the way, that Sean Strickland and Cowboy Cerrone would get along really, really well. You know, between their love of country and guns and everything else, which, by the way, I love too. That would be an interesting mix. Would he travel to and from Connecticut because of the connection now with Alex Pereira? I don't know if someone living and used to the Vegas weather really wants to deal with the weather and the lifestyle of Danbury, Connecticut. I don't know. And that's not crapping on Glover Teixeira at all. I don't see Sean Strickland as a Northeast type of guy, even just for training camps. I just don't see it. I remember he's also said that he probably, most likely, doesn't want Eric Nixick in his corner anymore. So no coach, once again, especially a head coach, will allow somebody like that with those feelings in his gym. Because yes, it is Randy Couture's gym, but Eric's the head coach. If there's somebody that has to go, it's going to be the fighter, not the head coach. It's tough, and I know I'm simplifying this down the way I'm going at this, but what's he going to do? Ask Ray Sefo to corner him and train him? Ray Sefo is, yes, he's a coach at Xtreme Couture, but let's be honest, Ray Sefo has his hands full with the PFL. So he's not going to be able to, you know, travel around and put the effort needed into cornering and coaching. I really do think it's a light version of Colby Covington. I think, I'm telling you, there has to be more. It just didn't explode out of the blue this weekend. And again, if you think so, you're being very foolish and you're being very naive. There was something underlying growing. Again, Jackson Wink might be the spot for him, or the BMF, or Fight Ready. I think it's going to be one of those. I mean, I don't see him traveling to like SBG Ireland. I don't see him traveling to Killcliff. I really think that Jackson Wink would be the perfect spot for Sean Strickland. Just because all he throws is jabs and teep kicks, basically, it helps expand his kicking game. Just think you're setting up for a teep kick. You're expecting a teep kick. You're expecting a teep kick. And all of a sudden you get head kicked. Or you get cracked with a question mark kick. It adds a layer to his game. Just goes to show you, relationships always come to an end. And again, Eric Nicksick isn't totally wrong. I mean, he's wrong to say he only wants to train champions and most of his fighters are not championship level at all. But maybe it's just, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think Eric Nicksick speaking just out pure frustration. I really think that everything Sean Strickland has said about everything has just worn on him. I think Eric Nicksick has just had enough of it. That's my opinion. I want to know yours. Drop it in a comment or question below. Please like this video. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. I would be eternally grateful. And it costs you $0, 0 cents. So, I got a very special card review coming up next. So I guess until that video drops, probably Sunday. I might hold it off till Sunday. I think Sundays are best for card videos. But until then, Cyclone saying, kiss your loved one tomorrow for Valentine's Day. Don't screw up any relationship that you might have. And until that video drops, Cyclone saying, peace out, home skis.